Hello everyone, I'm Jitendra Sir, and in this video I'm going to explain you about the various looping structures in Java, the different types of loops used in Java. So here we get started. Iteration means repeated execution of sets of commands. It can be achieved using loops. Now if we talk about loops in Java, a loop is basically a sequence of instructions that is continually repeated until the specified condition becomes true. A simple looping structure has a condition and a block statements, and till the condition is true, the compiler keeps executing the expressions which are written inside the loop, and subsequent statements are executed inside the body. Okay. Now if we talk about the need of loops, let us take an example. I want to write a program to write my name 10 times, that is to display my name 10 times. So if we use the traditional method, we can use public static void main, and inside that we have to write the system.out.println and my name, and we have to write the statement 10 times. So I think it becomes very hectic. Just to avoid this, if we use while loop or a for loop or any loop, in that case it becomes simpler for us. Here we will be using for loop. So here public static void main for int I equals to 1, I less than equals to 10, I plus plus. This is basically the use of loop, for loop. Here we have written this line and this line. Only two lines of commands will serve the purpose of this entire thing, and you can easily compare. The code becomes easier. And if you check the codings here, int I equals to 1, I less than equals to 10, I plus plus. Here the value of I gets initialized with 1. This part is called the initialization part. This part is called the condition part, and this part is called the increment or decrement part. Now here value of I is 1, so 1 is less than 10, condition is true, so it will enter inside this body of the loop, and the statement will be executed, that is my name will be printed. Once it is executed, the control goes to the update part, that is increment or decrement. The value of this loop control variable got updated, and then again it is checked, like 2 is less than equals to 10, again it will print. The value gets submitted by 3, now 3 less than equals to 10, condition true. So this way this statement will be executed as many times the condition is true. That is, until the condition is true, the statements written inside this block will get executed. And since we have written here from 1 to 10, so this will print this statement 10 times. So both the programs are doing the same thing, but here our code is simpler using for loops. Okay. Now we'll talk about different types of loops in Java. The first category is entry control loop, and second category is exit control loop. This entry control loop basically checks the condition first, and then if the condition is true, it allows the program to enter inside the body of the loop, and if the condition is false, it will not allow the program to enter into the loop. On the other hand, if we talk about exit control loop, it executes the command, but first it will execute and then it will check the condition. Again, it will process. The process will continue like this: like condition is checked and then execution is done. So here, if we talk about entry control loop, it is of two types: for loop and while loop. And exit control loop, we have do while loop. The differences of these three types, the syntax and all, we'll be learning in the practical sessions. Now let us understand for loop. Syntax of for loop goes like this: we write for, inside parenthesis we write initialization, condition, increment, decrement. This inside this parenthesis, this entire part is divided into three segments. First part is the initialization part, second part is the condition part, and third part is the increment or decrement, that is the update of loop control variable. Now first here in this initialization part, loop control variable gets initialized with a certain value, and then the condition is checked. A test condition is given, this condition is checked. If the condition holds true, it allows the program to enter inside the body of the loop, and whatever statements are written, it gets executed. And after the statements are executed, the control goes to the update part, that is increment or decrement. After increment or decrement, again this condition is checked. If the condition holds true, it will enter. If condition is false, it will not enter. Suppose the condition is true, it will enter inside the loop, statement gets executed, again increment, again condition checked, again like this. Initialization part is used only once, just to initialize, and afterwards only condition is checked, statements are executed, and increment, condition checked, execution, and then increment. So it goes like this until the condition holds true. Once the condition is false, no statements will be executed inside the loop. This while loop and do while loop also we'll be studying in practicals. I'll be showing you this first with the hand-on practicals with the for loop. So here is the practical implementation of loops in Java. So first program that we'll be doing is to print the first 10 natural numbers using for loops. For this, I've taken a variable loop control variable as I, and we are using for loop here. For this part is the initialization, this is the condition, this is the update part. We have initialized the variable I with 1, and the condition is 1 is less than 10 if the condition holds true. Here the value of I is 1, so 1 less than 10, condition true, so 1 will be printed. Now the value of I gets updated, it becomes 2, 2 less than equals to 10, condition true, so 2 will be printed, and so the value will be printed up to 10. As soon as the value becomes 11, condition holds false, so it will not enter into the loop, and finally it will stop executing. So let us go to the output part. I'll compile this program and I run this program. The output should be like this. So it will display the first 10 natural numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Clear? Now let's move on to the next program. Here we're going to display the first, can say the odd numbers up to 10. So loop will run from 1 to 10. This is the initialization part, and condition will run from like I will be less than equals to 10. And since the difference of any two even numbers or any two odd number is 2, that's why we have taken step value as 2. So I will be equals to I plus 2. For the first statement, I equals to 1, I less than equals to 10, that is 1 less than 10, condition true, so 1 will be printed. And after this, the value of 1 will be increased by 2. That is, now the value of I becomes 3. So 3 is less than 10, condition true, so 3 will be printed. The value of I becomes 5 next time with the update of 2. So 5 is less than equals to 10, condition true, then 5 will be printed. So and so it will increase, and the last value will be 9. 9 less than equals to 10, condition true. But as soon as the value becomes 11, the condition holds false and it will not enter into the loop. Now let us compile this program. Once I compile this program, after running this program, the output will come out to be like this: 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. As you can see, we have given the statement, the condition here as I is less than 10, so it will take only up to 9. After 9, the value after increment becomes 11, and 11 less than 10, condition false. That's why it will stop executing after 9. Now let's move on to the next program. Our next program is to print the squares of first 10 natural numbers. So the loop will go like the same way. Int I equals to 1, I less than equals to 10, I plus plus, and here the value of I is 1 here, so 1 is less than 10, condition true, it will enter into the loop and it will print 1 into 1, that is 1 square, that is 1. After that it becomes 2, so 2 is less than 10, so it will print 2 square, 3 square, so and so. You have to note down one thing, that after initialization of this part, loop has no significance of this, it continues from here itself. Like condition is checked, if it is true it will enter into the loop, then update, then condition checked, then enter into the loop, like this. This initialization part is only for just starting purpose. Clear? Just like when you are riding a scooty or a bike, you use the self to start the bike. So it serves the same purpose. It is just starting the loop, and after that only condition is checked and value update is done. If the condition is true, it will enter into the loop and it will update the value, and it will keep on executing until the condition holds false. So I hope this part is clear. Now if you run this program, I've compiled this program. Now if I run this, I'll get an output like this, like 149. Since I've not cleared this one, so I'm clearing this out. Again I'll run this. So when I run this, the output will come out to be like this: 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. That is square of 1, square of 2, square of 3, square of 4, square of 5, like this. So and so up to 10. The reason is we have given the condition here up to 10. The value of I goes from 1 to 10. So last value of I will be 10. So that is 10 into 10. 100 will be the last output. Okay. I hope this part is clear. Now if I want to print a series, one of the famous series, that is Fibonacci series. So here's the program. In Fibonacci series, the sum of first two consecutive terms is the next one. That means I'm showing you the series here. I'll just rub it out afterwards. So it will go like this, like first value is 0, then comma 1, comma 1, comma 2, comma 3, 5, comma 8, so and so it goes like this. I'm just writing it just for your convenience. This part, this is called the Fibonacci series. Here the logic is the sum of the first two consecutive is the next one. Like 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 3 is 5, 3 plus 5 is 8, and so and so. The sum of the first two consecutive is the next one. Okay, so this is the basically the sequence of Fibonacci series. Now I'll be doing it in this program. So here I have taken three variables of integer types, rather four variables: I, A, B and C. I have initialized the value of A as 0 and B as 1 because we have to take the first two values 0 and 1. Okay. For the time being, I'm not deleting it so that you can understand the logic properly. Now see here, I have initialized A with 0 and B as 1, and I have taken I have print A and B, that is 0 and 1 is already printed. Now since we have to print the first 10 series, first 10 numbers of this series, and 2 we have already printed, so that's why the loop will run from 1 to 8. The loop will run for 8 times because the two first two terms have already been printed, the value of A and B. Now here C equals to A plus B, will add these two values 0 and 1 and it will become 1. So C now will display the result of C. Now this 1 becomes A, this becomes B, and A plus B is C. The sum is C. Similarly, it will proceed like this. This will become A, this will become B, and A plus B is C. So it will keep on executing like this and we'll get the desired output. Now if I compile this program and I want to run this, so okay, just opening this I have to delete. Okay, I'll compile this program, and after compiling, this is okay. So once we have compiled this program, if we run this, we get an output like this. So this is the output: 0 1 2 0 1 1 2 3 5 8 13 21 34. This is the first 10 numbers of the series Fibonacci series. The logic is the sum of the consecutive two terms is the next one, like 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 2, 1 plus 2 3, 2 plus 3 5, and so and so. This is all about Fibonacci series.